Urgent Steelers fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. New info surfaces about Steelers' stance on Aaron Rodgers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are still waiting for an answer from Aaron Rodgers, and it sounds like their hopes of signing the star quarterback remain fairly high. It has been nearly a month since the official start of NFL free agency, and Rodgers has yet to join a new team. Some believe he is holding out hope that the Minnesota Vikings will make him an offer at some point, but they are clearly committed to J.J. McCarthy. During an appearance on SportsCenter Sunday, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler said the Steelers remain optimistic that they will eventually land Rodgers. That is reportedly the belief around the NFL as well. They have not gotten definitive word, but they're willing to wait a little while longer, Fowler said, as transcribed by Scott Polachek of Bleacher Report. That has really been the case for a few weeks now, but talking to people that have been involved in the quarterback market in the last couple of months, they believe that the Steelers must be gotten some sort of assurance at some point from Rodgers that he's going to sign eventually. So we should see some movement between now and the draft, potentially. Steelers owner Art Rooney II told reporters on Tuesday that the team has received positive sort of signals regarding their chances of signing Rodgers. It is unclear why the 41-year-old has decided to wait this long, unless he is contemplating retirement. Rodgers had a throwing session with a notable wide receiver last week, so it seems like he plans to play in 2025. The Steelers no longer have the option of bringing back Russell Wilson, who recently signed with the New York Giants. Mike Tomlin has said he would be comfortable entering next season with Mason Rudolph as his starting quarterback, but Rodgers has clearly been Plan A all along. Pausing this news, just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest. The Black and Gold news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Steelers likely interested in Falcons. Kirk Cousins. If Aaron Rodgers signs elsewhere, the Pittsburgh Steelers could be in pursuit of Atlanta Falcons quarterback Kirk Cousins, depending on the future of Aaron Rodgers. The Atlanta Falcons are in a waiting pattern with quarterback Kirk Cousins. Free agency filled several spots in the quarterback carousel, and the 2025 NFL Draft will close a few more doors, and the options are already limited. Cousins is largely looking at two landing spots, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cleveland Browns, but the Steelers are waiting on a different veteran Aaron Rodgers, while the Browns, who own the number 2 overall pick, have been working out the top quarterbacks in the 2025 draft class. Cleveland has long been pegged as a favorable landing spot for Cousins, who would get to reunite with now Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski. Cousins and Stefanski worked together for the Minnesota Vikings from 2018-19. The 36-year-old Cousins wants to start, and the Browns' current quarterback situation, only Deshaun Watson and Kenny Pickett are on the roster, offers an opportunity for him to do that. But the Browns may draft a quarterback, which gives Cousins a repeat of the same situation he was in last offseason when the Falcons selected Michael Penix Jr. at number 8 overall, keeping the seat warm without long-term safety. Still, Cleveland makes the most sense for Cousins unless Rodgers chooses retirement over a 21st NFL season. Then, the Steelers become an extremely viable option, according to Cleveland. Comms Mary Kay Cabot. If they don't land Aaron Rodgers, they'll likely be interested. In Cousins, Cabot wrote. Pittsburgh, however, could add a quarterback at number 21 overall, with Cabot noting the team is fond of Alabama's Jalen Milroe. But Milroe is a development prospect who needs time to sit and learn, which, in theory, leaves the starting spot open for 2025. An additional twist of irony if Cousins lands in Pittsburgh, his offensive coordinator would be Arthur Smith, the Falcons head coach from 2021-23. Smith was fired after 3 710 seasons, in part due to an inability to find an answer at quarterback. Cousins has already informed the Falcons of his hopes to start in 2025, but Atlanta's brass has publicly said it will do what's best for the team, which likely includes waiting until training camp and capitalizing on another organization desperate for a quarterback. In essence, the Falcons' move with Cousins depends heavily on two things: the Browns' draft decisions and the future of Aaron Rodgers. Another domino falls in the worst Pittsburgh Steelers offseason ever. The Steelers let another great deal slip by. It is no secret that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in desperate need of quarterback help. We are all anxiously awaiting a resolution to the Aaron Rodgers saga. This has led to rampant speculation of how the team will acquire another quarterback. While I personally prefer Mason Rudolph over Rodgers for a variety of reasons, I still realize the need for a better quarterback solution long-term. The ways of acquiring that this year aren't appealing, as the draft is filled with lackluster options to choose from. This makes the recent Joe Milton trade that much more upsetting. After a promising rookie season, albeit with limited action to showcase his ability, Milton was dealt by the Patriots to the Cowboys. Despite rumors swirling that New England wanted a third-round pick for the rookie, he was ultimately dealt alongside a seventh-round pick in exchange for a fifth-round pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers missed out on acquiring Joe Milton. I was higher than most on Milton coming out of the draft last year. The then Tennessee quarterback had every trait that you want in a game-changing quarterback. He has a booming arm and great mobility. So why was he only a sixth-round pick? His mechanics are horrible, which led to accuracy issues. With him being an older prospect, there was real concern that he wouldn't be able to fix any of those issues. In the preseason and his lone late-season start, though, he looked the part of a viable developmental quarterback on a bad Patriots offense. Perfect? Absolutely not, but certainly a player worth gambling on. A third-round pick was a rich asking price, but what he ultimately got moved for was far fairer. Frankly, I'm surprised the Patriots even accepted such a deal, but knowing the fact that they did, why didn't the Steelers offer a similar deal for Milton? It seems like a foregone conclusion that they will be drafting a quarterback this year. Some think that it could be as early as the first round, but more than likely, someone is added in the third or fourth round. The crop of quarterbacks in that range isn't significantly better than Milton. Honestly, I would argue that they are worse and lack the traits to be legitimate franchise passers. Assuming Pittsburgh uses their third or fourth round pick on him, they are essentially spending more on a worse prospect than they would have needed to bring in Milton. For an offseason that has been wildly lackluster, this is just another disappointment to stomach. I understand that more than likely Milton won't become the next great later-round quarterback, but he has the same odds, if not slightly higher ones, of panning out than Will Howard or Jalen Milroe. Considering he would have cost less, it seems mind-boggling that the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't do more to bring in Milton this offseason. Steelers visit setting up Jets draft trade scenario. The New York Jets haven't made any massive splashes this offseason, making smaller, under-the-radar moves to solidify their roster and establish a culture under new head coach Aaron Glenn and general manager Darren Maugi. Things could change very quickly, especially as it pertains to draft day. On Friday, Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reported that Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart will have a pre-draft visit with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mississippi's Jackson Dart, widely regarded as the number 3 quarterback in this draft class, is interviewing again with Steelers brass, sources told the Post-Gazette. He had a formal interview with the Steelers at the NFL Combine, and Assistant Generals manager Andy Weidel attended the Ole Miss Pro Day last week. Reported Fittipaldo, according to NFL Mock Draft Database, Dart is the consensus number 32 overall prospect in the class, and as Fittipaldo wrote, the consensus QB3. In a shallow quarterback class, Dart could end up being drafted much higher than his consensus ranking. This year's QB class is considered by most to be a massive drop-off after Cam Ward and Shadir Sanders, with Dart being the top-rated man of the rest. The Jets own the number 7 pick and are among the teams who could consider taking a quarterback, with their current plan at quarterback being Justin Fields, who the team inked to a 2-year, $40 million contract. The Jets have had previous links to Dart as a potential first-round landing spot. Conversely, the Steelers have emerged as a prime contender for Dart in recent weeks, resulting in their Friday visit with the 21-year-old gunslinger. Pittsburgh is currently nestled in at the number 21 slot of the first round with a quarterback room that is occupied by career backups Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson. If the Steelers wanted the third-best quarterback in the draft, they may have to jump up the board, especially to overtake the New Orleans Saints at number 9. For the Jets, dropping 14 spots wouldn't be insignificant, but it could be a good move to bolster their war chest of draft capital. Pittsburgh does not own a second-round selection in this year's draft, so the Jets would likely covet picks in future years. And now, Steelers fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for the Black and Gold. I'll be back any moment with more Steeler Nation news. Here we go, Steelers! Here we go!